One, two.
The playoffs continues right here, right now. Nagasaki VELCA hosts ALVARK Tokyo here in game number 2. Good evening, basketball fans, and welcome to the B.LEAGUE Championship for 2025-2026. As we welcome you inside the Happiness Arena, this is the second game between these two squads. Yesterday, it was a win by the host squad. It wasn't easy. They were down early, but in the end, they were able to come away with the victory, winning 93-78. That was actually the very first victory since 2023 for VELCA up against the squad here of ALVARK Tokyo. Once again, we have a jam-packed stadium because everybody expecting a victory here once again for their very own Nagasaki VELCA. As we take a look at the playoff picture, Nagasaki one game ahead over ALVARK, and all the rest of the series happening also here today and the rest of the weekend. Nagasaki VELCA finished 47-13 for the season. 41-19 for ALVARK Tokyo. Here are some of the highlights from yesterday's affair. As we said, game 1 went to VELCA. One of the heroes in yesterday's affair, Gerald Brantley. Ryan Rossiter did quite well, but the thing was he was blanked in the second half. So was Shuto Ando, Ryan Rossiter, even Sebastian Saiz. Sebastian Saiz had 10 points. A lot of heroes for VELCA. Starting out with Kokumagai, their starting point guard. Brantley was the biggest star of all, together with Akil Mitchell. That's Mitchell there with a big slam. Mitchell was the recipient of a lot of assists, especially from Brantley. There's that layup from Ko. Against the trees, it didn't matter. He got two spots on the floor, even had a steal and a lay-in, as you saw there. He'll change of pace. It was more than enough to get him another basket. And there's Brantley putting up a 3. He would have numerous assists as well. Boransky and company were able to make a late comeback to make it a little interesting, but again, they would fall short. It seems like the law of averages caught up with ALVARK Tokyo, looking to tie things up here. This is a best of 3. So with a win here, things will be all squared. Just too many turnovers here for the squad of Tokyo, and taking advantage was Yudai Baba and company. So those were yesterday's highlights, and you like exactly what Coach Modi Mayor did as you take a look at the numbers there on your screens. When he was there to address the crowd after the victory, he said, "I love all of you. I thank you for all of your support, but I have nothing more to say because we have game number 2, which is tomorrow, which is now today. You can just see the kind of focus he had, and he wanted his players to be able to pick up from where he also set the example. Davis had a decent game. Again, Davis was very effective in the first 2 periods, but essentially non-existent in the 3rd and 4th period. Scoring leaders: Brantley with 25, Johnson with 16, Lee with 14 to go with 10 rebounds. Kumagay had 13, and 13 also for Akil Mitchell. Nice look there at Johnson, who took over in the second half. Uday Baba picked his spots. As we have the scoring leaders for ALVARK Tokyo, Davis would finish with 14, 12 apiece for Foster and Rossiter. 10 for Saiz, as we mentioned all of that in the first half. And Nakamura came up with 9. Look at the starting lineup for both these squads. No changes. But obviously for VELCA, if it's not broken, why fix it? That's the lineup they essentially went with all those 47 victories. For ALVARK Tokyo, sticking with the same lineup, which gave them 41 wins, just coming up short yesterday. There's the lineup of Coach Dinos Adomaitis. Ken Davis, number 0. We've got Kai Taves, number 3. Say Ando, of course, number 9. Sebastian Saiz, number 11. Foster, that's Marcus, number 17. And we have Ryan Rossiter, number 22. There's Rossiter, knowing that he needs to be able to come up with a huge game here today just to tie things up. There are 3 officials. We've got referee Abe, referee Kano, and referee Iwai. They did a good job yesterday. And now, let's see if they're going to be just as lenient in terms of allowing a lot of the banging, pushing and shoving, and physical play. Not able to adjust there was Tokyo, especially in the second half. Nice look there at Kikuchi. Number 13, that is Shohei Kikuchi. It was announced that he will be retiring at the end of the season. So this could essentially be his final game. They're going to need a victory here just to stay alive. The big question is, can they get it away from home? That's a huge task. That's a huge ask, especially against VELCA, who is so determined to be able to move on here to the next round. Nice look at Sebastian as he takes a breather, because he knows there's going to be a big battle ahead, especially inside that paint. Here we have the introduction of the starters for both these squads, starting out first with the visiting squad, ALVARK Tokyo.
RESONA Group B.LEAGUE Quarterfinals 2025-26 Game 2. Ogi Seiko Group presents the Nagasaki VELCA versus the ALVARK Tokyo. Is the starting lineup for the ALVARK Tokyo. Number 3, Ryan Pitt. Number 11, Sebastian Saab. Number 17, Marcus Foster. Number 22, Ryan Rossiter. Number 75, Kaiji Otakawa.
there you have it, the starting five for the visitors. Exactly the same starting five as yesterday. They got off to a big start. They trailed after the first period just by 2, but they took the entire half, 42-36. Wanting another strong start here away from home. That's what you need to do. And now we have Nagasaki VELCA and their squad.
We're all here to chase wins. We are all determined to put in the work and bring you guys a team that shows and displays winning characters and winning behaviors and a winning mindset.
Are you ready? It's your Nagasaki VELCA! Number 1, Kenji Matsumoto. Number 4, Masaya Karimata. Number 6, Yuji Morita. Number 13, Kenshin Hoshikawa. Number 14, Henry Johnson. Number 17, Hayato Yamaguchi. Number 99, Koya Kawamata. The starting lineup. Number 5, Young Lee. Number 7, Jerome Ramsey. Number 11, Cole Kumagai. Number 18, Yukoi Baba. Number 25, Akira Shaw.
And there you have the starting five for Nagasaki VELCA. The exact same starting five as yesterday. We'll go through the starters for both these squads. You got Lee, Brantley, Kumagai, Baba, and Mitchell. Right, Taves? You've got Saiz, Foster, Rossiter, and Okasabe. Look at this, Udai Baba, heavy usage. Just about 5 minutes rest. And he came up with exceptional numbers. And this place is rocking. And why not? Happiness Arena. Wanting to be very happy after today. Wanting to see their squad move on to the second round. Can that happen? Will that happen? We'll find out in a bit. Nice smile on Coach Modi. He said this is what he has trained his boys for, the playoffs. Block. Knows what it takes to win. See if the squad can get it. The starters have been announced. They're there on your screens. And we are ready to go for game number 2. Saiz and Mitchell. The center slot. First possession to Brantley and company. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to go to Brantley once again and just ask him to create. They go to Lee first, then Kumagai. There it is with Brantley. Go back to Lee. Lee helped out in more ways than one yesterday. Well, Brantley's free, puts up a 3. Yes! That's what you want to do. Move that ball around, and after the defense tires out, you get an open 3. That's a poor pass by Rossiter. Too sharp. Well away from Okasabe. And he points at himself saying, yep, that was all me. 15 turnovers yesterday for the boys in white. Mitchell, not wanting to challenge from deep, always looking for the better shot. They're making sure that Lee doesn't get started. Kumagai with the jumper, yes! It's 5-0. That is the start that Coach Modi's looking for. Okasabe. Saiz. Mitchell making things so difficult. Sebastian is being shut down. They got to make their move. Shot clock's down to 1. Long 3 not going to work. Baba collects. And they go to Brantley. Brantley's going to lose it though. He was looking up before he even had possession. Apologizes to his team. So now a turnover each. Defense once again, almost the entire Happiness Arena. Fans for VELCA. There is a smattering of fans for ALVARK. Wasabi can't find space against Lee. Two-man game, they blitz him. Rossiter has to get to his spot. Falling away, not gonna work. Nice rebound by Lee. First board with the Korean hot shot. Brantley puts up a long one, not gonna work. Kai fell down. Looks at the referee, says he got shoved. And Akil Mitchell will get an offensive rebound and another possession here. First personal foul on Okasabe. We need to limit the possessions here of VELCA. He comes out to get it. Puts up a 3, yes! The leading 3-point scorer in the league comes up with his first basket. It is 8-0. Talk about a jackrabbit start. Kai back rims that one. Here comes Kumagai. Go to Brantley. Baba. Brantley. That's a nice find. Cole for 3, just short. First foul be called on Mitchell there. That was clear. Grabbing onto the arm of Sebastian. His first personal, there it was. Not quite sure why you want to give up a foul. That obviously, but again, maybe just trying to send a message. Still 8-0. Trying to get on the board. Rossiter finds Kai. Cave, step back 3, no. So their shooting woes from the 3rd and 4th period from yesterday continues here. Nice find, extra pass. Lee all day to shoot, that's Baba. And another possession, here's Lee. Let's look inside, a foul's going to be called, stopping the action. Really active on both ends by the boys in blue. Quick substitution as they're going to send in Stanley Johnson. This one, Akil Mitchell was starting to get heated up, but Johnson is another one of those dangerous players who can actually create for himself. Here's Brantley against Rossiter. Great move. It's 10-0. Still no timeout for ALVARK Tokyo. Quite surprised there is no timeout being called yet here. I guess Coach Dinos really trusts his squad. Just some substitutions. Asabe heading to the bench. He was at last play. Baba picks up his first. Second team foul for VELCA. Rossiter. Asabe once again. Will put up a three. Back rims that one. Great rebound by Baba. They'll try to run. Here's where Stanley can be really effective in the open court. And he scores. And now, Tokyo definitely needing a timeout. Down 12-0. Almost 4 minutes gone, and they have yet to get on the board. Back to Happiness Arena. Let's see if Tokyo can finally get on the board here. Brantley staying real tough, and there's some action here. As Foster hits the deck. That's going to be the second personal foul though on Uday Baba. He might have to be replaced. Let's see that on the replay. They locked arms. Approaching the 6-minute mark in the first period, still 12-0. Well, they say the first point is always the hardest. And they're still struggling here. 3 team fouls now here for Nagasaki though. 4 shots. Wow. They just can't seem to get a good crack at the basket. Looking for some early offense. Look at that, hanging in the air. Stanley Johnson not able to score. Could this be the opportunity now for Tokyo? Again, they're taking a little bit too long. Marcus Foster with the challenge. Well, foul's going to be called there on Lee. He's claiming verticality. And the foul will be called on Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi did so well yesterday. Yamaguchi actually not really scoring too much, but at the same time, he was really there to shut down the world imports. Foster now with an opportunity to put his team on the board. And it's there. And it's still 5:21 to be played. VELCA in the penalty. Let's see if ALVARK Tokyo can take advantage. Second on the way. Swishes both. You'll take a seat. Brantley & Company once again. Offense has been flowing here. Again, Stanley might have traveled. That's a 3-second violation. I'm surprised why Stanley didn't want to give that ball up. He was still looking to try to make some moves. It will be a violation. He apologizes. Good defensive stand there, that time by Brandon. Super under. Now they go to the post. That's an easy basket. That's what you want to do when the opponent is in the penalty. Take it strong, take it inside, and get an easy basket. It's going to cut the lead down to 8. Kumagai launches another 3. Good line, back rims that one. Good boxing out. Sotaura trying to come in and do what Kai Taves was not able to do, which is set up for his teammates. A block is going to be called. Going to need 2 free throws once again. And another foul. Brantley felt he got there. Little shove there by Ryan Rossiter. First personal foul will be called in Jarrell. And a timeout will be called by VELCA. Coach Modi feels his team losing their edge here. Free throw for Davis. Good. Lead is now down to 5. Once at a high of 12. ALVARK Tokyo right back in this one. Lee. Strong move. Nice pass. Ooh, Akil Mitchell wasn't ready for that one. All he had to do was just elevate and slam it through. Chance once again to the boys in white to come even closer. Sebastian. Saiz with a jumper. Not going to get the roll. Mitchell with the rebound. We'll try to push here. Stanley. Fouled by Shuto. First personal foul on Nando. Third team foul here for ALVARK Tokyo. Under 4 minutes to play in the opening period. Stanley will come up. We've got 2 creators on the floor right now. With Kumagay and Stanley here. They get it to him. Nice cut. Evading his defender there, and Lee now with 5 points. First dime here for Stanley. 14-7 is our tally. And get inside. No foul called, but getting the basket nonetheless is ALVARK Tokyo. Kura's giving them some quality minutes. Another big 3 coming here from Lee. He's got 8. He had a strong first period, and they shut him down in the second. But he came up big with just his defensive stops and rebounds. Not a good foul there by Davis. That will now put ALVARK Tokyo also in the penalty. So both squads in the bonus. There's that last piece of action. Johnson half fronting him, got the steal. You can see Coach Dinas saying that was an opportunity to once again come closer. Lee with a handoff. Lee is a real handful. They try to attack. Puts it up? No. Sort of a heat check here for Lee because he's been feeling it. Again, fault him for trying to be aggressive. Caves. And again, close to the basket. Nothing Kumagay can do. That's the lead to 6. Possession here with Nagasaki. He once again trying to create. Gets to the bucket. Finds Johnson. Johnson short. Another offensive rebound. Lee trying to force the issue. Second personal foul going to be called on Shuto Ando. Talk about a hard-working import. That is Hyun Jung Lee. Watch it there once again. Just taking it straight to the cup. 2 free throws now for the dead shot. Ando will have to hit the bench. Lee hands the first. People forget that Lee is actually 6'7". Usually shooters aren't that tall. They're below 6'4", 6'5" at the most. That's why it's just so hard to stop Lee, and at the same time, he knows his value. He'll come in and help out on the boards as well. He had a double-double yesterday. Caves, pocket pass, Saiz, still to get on the board. Still with nothing. Huge rebound there by Johnson. Lee left wide open. Just back rims that one. The tap goes to Stanley. Back to Lee. You've got to respect that outside shooting, and what happens when he takes it inside the paint with all that height? Almost impossible to stop. There it is once again. Sidestepping move. The foul was clear. There was a lot of contact down low. That's going to be the second personal foul. And Sebastian. So Saiz with 2. Baba with 2. Minute 29 remaining. And Lee once again with 2 shots. Brings the lead back up to 9. Modi has a clear-cut game plan, and his players have been following it to the hilt. So far, so good for ALVARK, and their turnovers, just 1. The thing is, they're still trailing by 10. 11 points now here for lead. Masabi started today, back on the floor, sets up Rossiter. Rossiter not looking for a shot. Now he's gonna have to take it. Still doesn't. And the foul's gonna be called on Stanley. 2 free throws coming the way of ALVARK. First personal foul on Stanley Johnson with his shove. That is where Davis can really take advantage. He's much taller than Johnson. Johnson is 6'6". Brandon Davis, 6'10". All these world imports, actually even the Asia Coda imports, are dead shots from the free throw line. And the second one there. Nagasaki's offense so far in the regular season was at 91.2, defense at 79.7. That big discrepancy there shows you just exactly why they've got a winning record. Nice steal. Can they convert under a minute remaining? Brandon hits another one. He's a 3-level scorer, and he's got 11 points. It's going to cut the lead down to 6. Now it's going to be called Nagasabi. That's his second. And again, Lee will trot to the free throw line for 2 more shots. It's a smart play. You like the fact that VELCA kind of seek out the mismatch. And you can see ALVARK Tokyo and Ryan Rossiter just trying to get confirmation there from the referee. And the referee was very clear on how and why he called that foul. We're going to give Matsumoto some burn here. 32.7 seconds to be exact. He would come in to end quarters. Did the same thing yesterday. Lee cans the first. Year-old leading his team in scoring here today in game number 1. In game number 2 rather. Came up with a decent double-double yesterday in game number 1. He will be replaced. They want him strong and fresh for the second canto. So Shikawa sent in. Cajun Company will be looking for a good shot here. Trying to take advantage of the possible 2-for-1. Nice little possession up against Matsumoto. Not the best of shots. Track down. Baba will give it up. Stanley will lose it. Davis coming from the blind side. Davis is not going to be able to come up with a heave. Players down. Now they pick themselves up and say they're good to go. solid first period for Nagasaki VELCA as they score 23 and they limit Tokyo to 15 and they lead by 8. Welcome to the second quarter here from the Happiness Arena. VELCA fans ecstatic about the development so far. Matsumoto will start out at the 1. Foul's going to be called here to start things. First personal foul on Kumagai. And a stick here to the taller Shuto Ando. He got into early penalty. And fouls like that will get him to early penalty once again in the second. There's the botched handoff inside. Good block there. Matsumoto with the block. Giving them exceptional quality minutes. Kumagai using that pick. Gets it to Brantley. Brantley inside. Flips it up. It's going to drop. Brantley picking his spots perfectly. He's back up to 10. Shuto, nice find. Rossiter inside, a little bit too strong with the left hand. Another big rebound here. Andy Johnson doing everything. Puts up a 3. Offline that time. It's touched last by Davis. Trying to power his way inside once again, Stanley Johnson. Baba goes back to Stanley. Stanley inside. Wow, holding his own there was Okasabe. Johnson can't believe there was no call, but again, remember, you have to adjust. Our referees from yesterday, who are the referees here today, allowing a lot of pushing, a lot of shoving, a lot of physical play. Still a 10-point lead enjoyed here by Nagasaki. Tokyo with possession. Chito Ando. He'll have to give it up. Gets it right back. Puts up a three. Hits the front rim. Looking at from the outside. An offensive foul is going to be called. That's going to be on Kumagai. That's going to be number 2. Trying to set that pick against the much taller player, Rossiter there, saying he tried. Kumagai will have to be replaced. Here comes Lee. After a very brief rest. They're going to need him on the floor, especially with Kumagai out. You got another creator and somebody that can help you rebound and clean up the boards. Foul's going to be called on Matsumoto, and that will put him in the penalty. With 8:02 still to be played. Well, get set and ready for a very long second quarter, especially if ALVARK Tokyo plays their cards right. Meaning, they try to attack the basket every single opportunity. Into the free throw line. An offensive foul is going to be called though. It's going to be on Davis. That's going to be number 2. Davis saying, I thought you were allowing a lot of pushing and shoving. Davis, back to the bench. Well, that was clear. That was a late body check, and that is an offensive foul. Here's Johnson. After his initial foray where he scored quickly, he has been silenced. Let's see if we can get going here. This team's still up by 10 though. Lee. Brantley wide open for 3. Not that time. Almost an offensive foul, a rebound. A little pushing, a little shoving, and Yamaguchi says it's okay. I have to play. Let's see what Marcus Foster can do to contribute here. Puts up a jumper. Maybe not the best of shots. You want something going towards the basket. There is another jump shot. You're bailing out the defense that time, especially since they're in the penalty. Matsumoto gets away inside. What a curl. And what a pass. And another timeout needed here by ALVARK Tokyo. To the action here at the Happiness Arena. We have had no deadlocks because racing out to a 12-0 advantage was the home team. Sota trying to harness whatever he possibly can here. They go to Foster. On the outside, Shuto Ando overshoots. Another nice rebound there by Lee. Trying to be active, sets that pick. Kura picks up the foul. Brantley wasn't happy. Well, there was the grab there. Kura will be replaced together with Ando. Coach Dinos still looking for the right combination today. Still finding out who among his players can get him some points. Now we're going to review this one. Yes, they will. Well, you saw the reaction there of Brantley when he hit the deck. Here it is once again. Just grabbing onto Brantley. And he fell awkwardly onto the floor. That should be deemed just a regular foul. This is the playoffs. Again, let's see what the officials will say. They've done an exceptional job here so far, not just in the regular season, but even yesterday. In game number 1 of the series, Sota on the bench. And here's the call. Just a regular foul. Good call there by the officials. As we said, they have been on top of their game as well. Second team foul here for Tokyo. It's Modi, you can see him screaming at the sidelines. He's not going to be happy until he moves on to the next round. And when he gets there, he's not going to be happy until he gets to the finals. And so on until they get the title. 3, no. Long rebound. Collared here by Saiz. This guy trying to make his move. He has the advantage here against Matsumoto. Give it up there. Kasabe with a running start. Again, things like that, shots like that, really are helping out the defense. Those are wild shots. Almost a steal. There it is. That might have been a travel. Easy slam there. Cut the lead down to 10. Foster. Well, seeing that basket going towards him, maybe could help them out. Stanley sets up Yamaguchi. Yes, Yamaguchi, a huge 3. Koya Kawamata, happy there. One of the biggest cheerleaders you have. Rossiter is yet to get going. Marcus with a jumper, no. Good boxing out there by Stanley. And Lee will try to push. Like the fact that if there is no advantage, he'll give it up. Pocket pass not going to work. Matsumoto lost it. Kasabe. Foster. Gonna get inside the paint. Will score. And Coach Dinos working on the referee saying there was some contact. Well, there was. But again, The referees have been very consistent with their calls so far. 4:50 remaining in the first half. And still an 11-point advantage enjoyed here by Nagasaki. Kumagai's back. He's got 2 personal fouls. Lee puts up a 3. Good line. Swishes it once again. Lee is sizzling. Lee now with 17 points. He's got 5 boards and 2 assists. He might just be the series MVP if they win here today. The veteran with a perfect pass. Saiz now on the board. That is what Zach Baranski can do. The 33-year-old knows exactly what to do in every situation. Is that a foul on Kumagai? That might be his 3rd. It is on Kumagai. That is number 3. Confirmed. He will have to be replaced, and we're not going to see him until possibly the midway point of the 3rd. Now they're going to go to some unlikely sources as they send Hoshikawa back in. He played a few seconds, about 40 seconds in the first quarter. Now he's going to play extended minutes. Saiz gets to the line. Sebastian Saiz is 6th in terms of blocks this season, at 1 per contest. Okay, finds Saiz. Saiz with the jumper. A little bit too strong. Back rims that one. Again, they have to put the clamps on Lee. He's got nuts here. Stanley with the jumper. A little bit too strong. Nice tip. Lee gets to it. Not able to save it to the right individual, but we love the effort. Again, they just blitz the ball carrier. Here comes Baranski again. Daves. Now they got to make their move. Shot clock's down to 7. Baranski realizes it. Forces up a 3. That's a heads-up play by Saiz, but no basket still. Once again, Johnson. And he picks up a lot of steam heading towards the rim. Almost impossible to stop. Foster will pick up his first personal foul. Watch it here. Look at that speed. And he's got elevation as well. 3 minutes, 13 seconds to go before we get to halftime break.
2 shots.
2 shots here now. ALVARK Tokyo still with one more foul to give. You see that upward stance as far as conventional basketball player is concerned. Feet separated. A little wider than usual, and he gets down. Watch it there. Why fix it? It's very effective. He didn't miss from the free throw line yesterday, and he's 2 for 2 here. It's now 14-point advantage, 35-21. Tokyo has not led in this game number 2. Nice look. Davis. Couple of spins, yes. That's just token defense, really, that Stanley can do. Not wanting to pick up a second, and at the same time, they know that they're in the penalty. They don't want any more easy shots. Daves with a foul, his first. And now both teams in the penalty. Tokyo got into the penalty at a 2:49 mark of the first, now at the 2:47 mark. Every foul after this will mean free throws. Stanley almost lost it, eventually did. Chuto Ando. And a race down court, get into their offense early, which is I think what they have to do. Ando, yes. The defense hasn't been able to set, and he went inside the paint. Let's see if they're going to try to use that same formula in the next couple of possessions. There's nobody rebounding there. Easy putback, Hoshikawa. Now they're getting points even from some unlikely spots. That's too high of a pass. That's saved by Okasabe. But this is going to be turnover number 3 for ALVARK Tokyo. Looking at VELCA, they have 9 turnovers. But despite those 9 turnovers, they're still up big. Exactly 2 minutes remaining here in quarter number 2. Modi screaming out instructions once again. Liking what he sees. Nice find. Again, you can see they're not forcing the issue. Lee! And he got fouled. Almost made that one. That would have been a 4-point play. Lee has had exceptional numbers here for his squad. 17, 6, and 2. And with these 3 free throws, he's more than capable. There's the foul. That's clear. Ando complaining. Chuto Ando now with 3 fouls. This is not the way you wanted to start game number 2 if you're ALVARK Tokyo. Already playing away from home because of the inferior record, and now you find themselves down by 12, possibly 14 once again. Oh, check that, possibly 15. And a technical foul is going to be called on Tokyo on their bench. That means an extra free throw. So 4 free throws coming the way here of Lee. So things might be going from bad to worse, especially if Lee makes all 4. And you expect him to make it. 18 points now. And here is 3. And the second here in this trip is in. 2 more coming up. So instead of a possible 15-point lead, it'll go up to a possible 16-point lead. 1 more coming up. What a huge deficit now. Well, it's not insurmountable, but at the same time, you know you're down 1-0 in the best of 3. You're not playing well, your offense isn't humming, and your opponent is up 41-25. Chance of defense still from the fans at the Happiness Arena. Trying to get inside, there is no space for Okasabe. Davis forced to put up a long one. Seems like there's a lid on that basket here for ALVARK Tokyo. Phil Mitchell to the wing. Open three. Hoshikawa, no. Lee once again. He's a handful. And he's definitely the star of the night. Asabi will pick up his third personal foul. So he might be heading to the bench as well. Fukuzawa will check in. Fukuzawa has had some playing time during the regular season. The 32-year-old is there really for stability. Can he give them that here? Another free throw for Lee. That's automatic. One more coming up for a possible 18-point edge. It's there. 43-25. They need to score here. No question about it. The lob. Perfect. Davis there with a perfect catch. He's got 15 points. Lee once again finds Akil. They go back to Lee. Well, they're trying to. Ishikawa will give it up. Mitchell. Mitchell, good move. Will come up short though. Under 40 seconds. They need another basket. Davis almost lost it and eventually does. It has been that kind of a frustrating night so far for ALVARK. Big timeout going to be called here as Nagasaki wanting even more. .4 seconds remaining. You can see Coach Modi Mawar trying to make absolutely certain that they milk every single opportunity here in the first half. The tide can easily turn. And he wants to make sure they've got some insurance baskets. Once again, it's Johnson. Johnson. We look inside. Akil! Big slam. And the lead once again back to 18. Oh, they're not aware of it. Mark was not even able to get up a shot. Wow. First basket for Akil, and he says it's a big one. It is. And after 2 periods, a huge lead opened up by Nagasaki as they lead 45-27.
本日のハーフタイムショーはベルシーのパフォーマンスをお楽しみいただきます。これより場内安定いたします。席をお立ちの際は十分にお気をつけください。それでは場内安定いたします。Please enjoy VELCA's special performance. Thank you, USA!
ここで2025-26シーズン長崎ベルカと共に戦うパートナーのご紹介です。プラチナパートナー株式会社谷川建設、足立株式会社、株式会社再開建設、株式会社司コーポレーション、警備の成功、アミプラザ長崎、ジブラルタ生命、ストローカル、福徳不動産、株式会社タイニーハートフィールド、株式会社メモリード、長崎バスグループ、NIB 長崎国際テレビ、重工記念長崎病院、コーオープホールディングスグループ、MHI マリテック株式会社、文明堂総本店、大新技研株式会社、長崎豊か、ソシオフューチャー株式会社、サントリー株式会社、扶桑工業株式会社、医療法人さわやか秀田整形外科クリニック、ダスキンオークス、中野鉄鋼株式会社、再開採石株式会社、馬場グループ、先長グループ、ボートレースオンラ、ファクトリー、戸田建設、株式会社ラックランド、株式会社池田工業、 武田商事、三菱重工マリンマシナリー、杉永かまぼこ、その他にも多くのパートナーの皆様にご支援いただいております。以上、2025-26シーズン長崎ベルカパートナーのご紹介でした。誰もが希望を持って踏み出せる、そんな明日を叶える理想のグループ。心たぎる瞬間とともに夢やエナジーを生み出す B リーグ。2つの思いが共鳴し、あらゆる人の未来にかつてない熱狂をプラスする。ジョイン・ザ・ホープ。リソナグループは B リーグのタイトルパートナーです。求められるインフラは時代で変わる。求められるインフラは地域で変わる。本当に必要なインフラを提供し続けたい。その道のりは険しく果てしない。それでも私たちは地域の未来へ明日をつなぎたい。それではここで B リーグのパートナー各社をご紹介いたします。 B リーグトップパートナーソフトバンク。 B リーグタイトルパートナーりそなグループ。 B リーグイノベーションパートナーインフロニアホールディングス。 B リーグパートナーズ日本生命 TIS。 B ライブ。 B リーグサポーティングカンパニーズモルテン。朝日新聞。日本経済新聞社。大塚製薬。野村工芸社。 EY ジャパン。エニタイムフィットネス。ストライク。スポーツネット。ロックアイス。ふるさとチョイス。モルツ。日清食品。 DNA。 B リーグサプライヤーアンドレスティホールディングス。 B リーグコミュニケーションパートナー LINE ヤフー。 B リーグスポーツ振興&レフェリーサポーティングパートナースポーツくじウィナー。 B リーググロースパートナーデ
だいまビジョンには皆様からの写真とメッセージが流れております。 Let's check it out.
You're watching the highlights here of game number 2, the first 2 periods. And it is all Nagasaki VELCA. After the first quarter of play, it was 23-15. And then they poured on the pressure. There's a plus 10 second quarter. And they now lead 45-27 at the halftime break. There was the first basket of Akil Mitchell. As we break down the numbers, look at Nagasaki VELCA shooting 61% from 3. Check that, from 2. And 0 for 8 for ALVARK Tokyo from 3. I don't think I've ever seen that stat in all my years covering the B-League. 0 out of 8 for 0% for ALVARK Tokyo. They need to be able to start making some threes, because what the squad of Nagasaki VELCA is doing right now, they're packing the paint and they're forcing the outside shots. If you can't make the outside shots, you're going to be in real trouble. ALVARK Tokyo is just 5 turnovers. 9 turnovers here for Nagasaki VELCA, but it does not hurt them. As we take a look at the leaders, 23 points for Hyun Jung Lee, 15 points for Brandon Davis, 7 boards for Lee, 3 for Rossiter, and in terms of dimes, 4 assists for Stanley Johnson, and 2 assists here for Kai Taves. It has been a very dominant first 2 periods. And the fans here inside Happiness Arena hoping it continues. This is quite surprising though. Uday Baba only playing just about 4 minutes. Kai Taves a little bit more, but his production hasn't been that much more as compared to Uday Baba. There is no report if Baba is injured. And there he is. He's good to go. But I guess they didn't need him in the first 2 periods, and so here he is. Going to come up with some big plays for his squad in the 3rd period. As they try to send a statement. They try to send home ALVARK Tokyo. They try to end the season of ALVARK right here tonight. Officials are happy. We begin the 3rd period. Possession to VELCA. And they're starting with Koy Kumagai, despite the fact that he's got 3 personal fouls. Lee. They go to Brantley. Brantley, nice find. Another slam there. It is now a 20-point advantage. 2 slams in the last, you're talking about playing time, in the last 30 seconds for Akil Mitchell. Saiz tries to kiss it off the glass, does. But at least they got something positive from their offensive set, which they've gotten 0, actually, practically in the first 2 periods. There's been a dominating performance here. Nice lead pass. Lee with another bucket. He's got 25 points. And this time Mitchell with the assist. Gonna need to get some major stops. Here comes Foster. Saiz with the jumper. And that's gonna be an offensive foul. That jumper will not count. Saiz saying it should count, but it won't. That's clear. That is clear. The foul came before the shot. There, very clearly you can see the foul came first. Lee. Get it up to Brantley. Nice spin. 2 free throws coming up here for Gyro.
Tokyo foul, number 75, open foul. 4 personal, team champion. Tokyo substitution number 9, Ando. 中国モーション中のパーティーに2ショットが与えられます。2 shots.
We're going to add to the tally here. Brantley talking to the referees. Still not pleased about something. Lead is now 21. Could be 22. Brantley with a second free throw. 51-29. And losing it there is Shuto Ando. Yuday Baba not wanting to force the issue. Here's Brantley. Gets to his sweet spot. And he's going to get that one to drop. ALVARK Tokyo needs another timeout here. They have been blanked. And at the same time, Nagasaki VELCA scoring at will. ALVARK Tokyo needs to solve the riddle of not being able to score offensively, especially from deep, or else their season ends here tonight. 2 minutes gone in the third. Foster puts up a hurried shot there. That was well defended against 2. And a good shot. Here comes Lee. Finds Brantley. Brantley extra pass. Ooh, Phil Mitchell should have slammed that one. And he realizes his mistake. That is turnover number 10. Welcome to the B.LEAGUE Championship for 2025-2026. Yesterday was a much more exciting game. They're finally breaking through. That is the first 3. So now they're 1 out of 9 from deep. Talking about ALVARK Tokyo. Gotta cut the lead down to 21. They need multiple stops. Yuday Baba goes to the wing. Getting away. Kumagai. And they continue to just pour on the pressure. Foul will be called. That's going to be on Baba. Baba now is going to pick up his 3rd personal foul. He's going to head to the bench once again. He hardly had any playing time in the second. He played a lot in the first, had 0 minutes in the second quarter. And now might have to sit down once again. But they have not really needed his services. Marcus to the line. Marcus Foster's three-point percentage is 8th in the league. 40%. But today, he's got nothing. ALVARK Tokyo virtually has nothing from deep. And Marcus misses a free throw. Can't really say things are going from bad to worse because right now, it's already terrible. And get a split from the line. You can see the frustration on the face of Marcus Foster. He misses another one. And those misses really just compounding their woes. Nice fight and another big one there. Another slam. 3 slams for Akil Mitchell here today. And he's sending a statement. 6 points, all on vicious slam dunks. The lead's now 25 at 57-32. And Foster goes down. Is that going to be a 4th personal on Uday? It is. Quite surprised by Baba. Still on the floor. You don't want to risk it. You might need him in the 4th just in case. Sito Ando. They give it up. Saiz. It's up along 2 hits. Those are the baskets that are being given to them. They're taking advantage though. 6 points now here for Sebastian. Again, as he said, they need to pick things up on this end, on defense. That's a turnover. That's going to help the cause of ALVARK Tokyo. Nothing from Baransky. This has been that kind of a night. You can't get it to go from deep, then you try to go inside. Foul's going to be called there in Sota. His 2nd. And as we said, looking at the numbers of the 2nd quarter, VELCA was in the penalty with 8:02 remaining in the period. That's 8 minutes that you could have gone straight to the basket, get some fouls, get some easy shots from the free throw line. But they kept forcing threes. They kept coming up with fadeaway shots, and they helped out the defense. Lee with a spin, will lose it. Here's Davis. Sets up his shooter. 2nd 3 here. Sota. Now with 5 points. Once again, getting away inside. Unable to come up with the basket though was Stanley. He babied that shot. That's for certain. The lead is still 20. Almost a steal. It's completed. Stanley explodes to the basket. That was a foul. Davis not happy. But there was contact. That's going to be number 3 on Brandon. Brandon continues to complain. He's got to be careful. The bench earlier picked up a technical already.
One shot.
Davis is not a happy man. Oh, that's the first miss here for Johnson.
Two shots.
He was actually on the floor. They could have actually made him. No, he's not. That's why they wanted Johnson to take it. Johnson actually has a very good percentage from the free throw line as well. That was his first miss, and you can see just how disappointed he is. Some worried faces from the fans, but again, those fans have got to be happy. Their squad is up. But I guess they're not going to be happy until they get to the next round. 59-37. And Tokyo in the penalty. Ando can't fire. Puts up another one. Short. Saiz with a putback. And again, they're forcing the issue from deep. Despite the fact that it seems like today has not been their day from the outside. But again, they keep hoisting up those long toms. And none are detonating. 4:17 to be played in the third. You need to get that lead down to at least 15. Or else, fourth quarter is going to be a walkthrough. Stanley to the wing. Extra pass. Yamaguchi with a foul. Kind of a late call, but Baranski saying, what can we do? That's a smart foul though. Baranski and ALVARK Tokyo have got to focus on the game. Right now they're focused on the referees. What are they going to say? He wasn't able to come up with a steal. From a guy to the wing. Almost another offensive rebound from Ko. Off that miss from Stanley. Nice seal. Sebastian will overshoot. That was against three defenders. They just swarmed all over him. He thought he was free. He was free for a fraction of a second. Johnson trying to use clock as early as now. Looking for the best shot available. Stanley, step back, bang! 62-39. Johnson taking over here. Yamaguchi has done quite well in place of Yudai Baba. Tito Ando again, another three. Why not go inside? Not a good foul. And Rossiter not realizing his team's in the penalty. That's only his first. But they are now going to send ALVARK Tokyo is going to send Nagasaki VELCA to the line. That was lack of recognition from Rossiter. Davis sent back in. Here come two shots. And he's a dead shot from there. Just had his first miss a while ago. First miss in 8 attempts over 2 days. Ooh, he's gonna miss another one. That might just give ALVARK Tokyo some hope, but they have to score here. Under 3 minutes remaining in the third. Ty Taves almost lost it. Will. Here comes Stanley in the open court. That's too easy. And he's saying there was a foul, there was contact. 12 points now for Johnson, and the lead is 26. And they're just pouring on the pressure. Kai, no. And again they continue to hoist from deep. You live by the 3, and you'll die by the 3. He's back. Lee inside. We lose it though. Lee continues to complain, saying he lost that on the way up because somebody hacked him. Nakamura is in. Nakamura had a decent game yesterday. Let's see if he can pick his squad up here. They need anyone at all, to just give them a chance. Rossiter will try his hand at 3. That will not go down again. They're 2 out of 15, shooting below 14%. Look at the patience being shown. And why not? They can't afford to be. And then Johnson hits another one. 68-39. And nothing ALVARK Tokyo can do but call this timeout. Tonight might just be the final game of that man there. Not available to play, Shohei Kikuchi. The 41-year-old is hanging up his jersey after this season. Unavailable for today. He was unavailable for the final month of the season because of an injury. And this might be the final game for the 2025-2026 season for ALVARK Tokyo. Talk about adding insult to injury. ALVARK Tokyo just can't seem to score from the outside. They're only 2 out of 15 from 3 for 13%. And Stanley Johnson cans 2 big threes. Akil goes inside. It's a basket and 1 opportunity, and one of the few times we're going to see a smile here from Stanley Johnson. He's playing for the camera here. Oh, they're going to say it's an offensive foul. We're going the other way. Second personal foul on Stanley. It looks like they're going to review this one. Let's Let's see if it's going to be an unsportsmanlike foul. I don't think so. Well, that was a bang play there. Let's see here. This is a better angle. There was a hit. This one might give us a clearer picture. Well, not too much there. That should be just a regular foul. A regular offensive foul. Under a minute remaining. And with the lead now at 27. You could say it's insurmountable. ALVARK Tokyo are going to need some quick baskets here. Make it a more manageable deficit heading into the fourth, and then come up with a big burst in the first 3 minutes. As expected, just a regular offensive foul. It has not been a good day in the office for Ryan Rossiter. It has not been a good day in the office for essentially the entire ALVARK Tokyo team. Then they turn things around here in the final 50 seconds. They need to get a couple of baskets and a few stops. Get some momentum heading into the fourth. Davis. And again, there's that swarming double team. Stanley Johnson. With some sweet nothings there for Brandon Davis. Saying you're much taller, but you can't take me. And they continue to jab. On the outside. That's a big three. But unfortunately, there might be a foul called here. Fukuzawa. But the three should count. The three will count. And Brandon Davis got irritated with all the talking coming from Stanley Johnson, threw him to the floor, and he's done for the day. Early showers for Brandon Davis. That was clear. We saw that. Coach Adomaitis not liking the call, but it was the right one.
2 shots.
And 2 shots here for Stanley. He has missed 2 free throws already. Second on the way. 70-44. We need to score here. Let's see if they can try to go for a 2-for-1. They won't. They need to make this possession count. That's for certain. Rossiter gives it up. Fukuzawa. High floater, no. They're going to try to score here in the final seconds. They give up a 3. That rims out though. 3 quarters are done here at the Happiness Arena. And it's looking like Nagasaki VELCA will be advancing to the semifinals as they lead right now 70-44. Seems like it's going to be the final game for Shohei Kikuchi. Final quarter. And it's going to be the final quarter of ALVARK Tokyo, unless they can come up with a major miracle here. Fukuzawa with a jumper. Yes, that's a good start. But now watch as VELCA will probably just milk the clock here and go for the shot in the final seconds. They're doing the right thing. Now they'll attack at 6. Brantley. Open 3, just short. But they used up the entire 24 seconds. Now needing a quick basket. They get it. Baransky scores. That's his first bucket. 4-0 start. Here's where you have to play to win and don't play not to lose. Quick attack. Kumagai, no. And again, Akil Mitchell will get them another 14 seconds. Just like that, a minute gone. You're in the 4th. You want to look for a good shot, but at the same time, you want to be able to use as much clock as possible. Baba is in. They're looking for the finishing touches here. Yudai. That's a great pass. Kumagai for 3. Set up there by Yudai Baba. Again, ALVARK Tokyo needs to score in the first 10 seconds. Nakamura will come up short. Up ahead. And a foul there by Baransky. 2 free throws now for Akil Mitchell.
First personal, team second.
Baba releasing Akil Mitchell there. Just when you thought that they were going to just walk it up. Well, we said you got to play to win. And don't play not to lose. Mitchell's first, rims out. The 33-year-old looking forward to making it to the semifinals here. He'll miss both. Kosawa's got to go to work. See if they can try to look to attack early. Kasabe's back. Not a good pass. And not a good foul. You can see the way Baba controls the pace. Another foul would be called here on Nakamura.
VELCA substitution. Number 1, Matsumoto. Number 14, Johnson.
Second personal foul on Hiromu. Matsumoto's in. He might just finish this ball game. Johnson resent into the ball game as well. Coach Modi going for the jugular here. Not to say that this isn't a one-ball game yet. For all intents and purposes, it might be. Brantley with the spin, puts it up. No. Quite surprised they attacked early. But again, the clock, definitely a factor. Kasabe will go to Saiz. Saiz, couple of moves, falling away. No. They just can't get into a groove offensively. And again, Brantley says, let's use clock. Now they'll attack at 7. Missed 3. Approaching the 7-minute mark. Still a mountain to climb here for ALVARK Tokyo. Fukuzawa, that rims out. That was a pretty good look. We're going to get another possession here though. Fukuzawa has done quite well. He's had good shots. He's had good looks. Just not dropping. They send in Shuto Ando. Their star needs to come up big. Coach Modi wanted to challenge there. He's not leaving anything to chance. This is such a huge lead. Nakasabe. Steps back. Forces up a 3. No. And again, yes, I know you need some 3-point shots, but it's got to be in the flow of the offense. You can't just force the issue. There's a steal. That turnover will help. Nakamura will go to the wing. Okasabe almost lost it. Shuto Ando, that's offline. Oh, banks it through. 8 points now for Shuto. That's the lead down at 22. Brantley, early 3, and he converts. He gets that 3 right back. He's got 14 points. Quick hoist, no. Under 6 minutes remaining. Brantley. Foul's going to be called. There was no call from the lead ref. The trail ref will make the call as he says Nakamura will pick up foul number 3. Here's that last piece of action. There was the reach in. And I guess Coach Dinos also knows there's nothing much he can do at this particular stage. Lee trying to look for some insurance baskets here. Trying to add to his tally as Shuto Ando picks up foul number 4. These are going to be the first points of Lee in the second half. I'll check that. He actually had a basket in the third. Now what? 26 and 10. Another double-double for the Korean star. One more coming up. The lead is now 27. Still with some full court pressure. Try to look inside. Left-handed hook will not work. The Coach Dinos has said it's a losing cause. He has hoisted the white flag. Another 3 drops there for Stanley Johnson. And the lead is now 30 at 81-51. They got off to a 12-0 start and they have not looked back. Tsumoto with a foul. And now you might want to rest your imports. There are bigger games ahead in the semifinals, and if they do make it, the finals. You don't want to risk any injury here. They're going to say it's a kickball. 5 minutes remaining in this one as we get to this official timeout. It's a 30-point lead enjoyed by Nagasaki VELCA. Welcome back to the Happiness Arena as we have the final 5 minutes of this quarterfinal matchup between Nagasaki VELCA and ALVARK Tokyo, which most likely will be the final quarter for the season for ALVARK. Brantley puts up a 3 and hits. The lead is now 33. Well, this is well and good, but at the same time, I'm wondering if you don't want to get those big guns off the floor. Nice stop. Stanley will bring it down, approaching the 4-minute mark. Will he put up another 3? Johnson gives it to Brantley. There's the double. Brantley attacks. And he's got a 3-point play. And he's pumping up the crowd. Not to say the crowd isn't pumped up already. 86-51. First personal foul will be called in Fukuzawa. Oya Kawamata is in, the fan favorite. Karimata will also check in. That's Masaya Karimata. Baba will take a seat. His day's done. I think Karimata was telling Brantley there to make the free throw so you can get replaced. We need you off the floor. He'll misfire. But there's nobody at the scorer's table to replace Brantley. Forcing the issue, not gonna work. Again, Hireiwa got stopped. Now, quite possibly Coach Modimor would want the players on the floor to go hard. Try to score. Koya Kawamata delivers. It's now a 37-point advantage. Second foul there by Brantley. And he's still on the floor. Three on the way. No. They do have 4 conversions already, but 4 out of 20. Now 4 out of 21. Shooting below 20% will not get it done. And the threes continue to rain here. That's Karimata with his first. It's now a 40-point advantage. Kasabe, the only starter on the floor. Chicago will pick up his first. Nice 3 there for Karimata. Well, Karimata's a veteran at 37 years old. You know is capable of that. And now, all the imports are off the floor for both squads. Yuji Morita, 29-year-old, getting some burn here. Now just maybe, Coach Modi will give a lengthy interview. That stays here, keeping that alive. Ishikawa doing his job. Kenshin, that's him there. 6'2", 24-year-old. The future is bright. Putting up another 3. That looked good. He's capable of that. Masaya has done that his entire career. Three will drop. That'll be their 5th 3. Nakamura, his first of the night. He had 2 yesterday. Steele and Baransky for 2. Baransky 4 points, but it will be in a losing effort as they get blown out here at the Happiness Arena. They're still playing. Still some possessions. 3 on the way, no. Baransky with a board. Baransky will give it up. Hiraiba with a miss. Not a good foul. 2 free throws coming up here. And there is the final look for Shohei Kikuchi. Unfortunately, it won't be with him on the floor. He's had a storied career. And at 41, the 6'3" point guard will be calling it a day. Koya gets a basket. He's got 3 points. Another free throw here for the many-time All-Star. He's not seen that much playing time here for Coach Modi. But at 6'8", he can definitely help the squad. Final minute. Final seconds here for the season for ALVARK. Hiraiba can't put that through. They'll still go, that's for sure. Yuji. Go back out. Hoshikawa. Hoshikawa, 1-1 move. Sets up Yuji for 3. Yes! They're getting these youngsters some playing time. And an assist there for Hoshikawa. Final possession here for ALVARK Tokyo. Hurried 3, no. There seems like, well, they're gonna have to dribble this one up past the timeline, and they will. That will be it. Nagasaki VELCA advances to the semifinals as they win game number 2, 96-56. ALVARK Tokyo would finish the season with 41 victories, 19 losses in the regular season, and 2 more losses here, yesterday and today. So their overall record would be 41-21. As we say goodbye to Shohei Kikuchi. There's the quarter scoring. Look at that, just 12 points in the fourth. And scoring 26 points. The biggest quarter for Nagasaki was in the fourth. And as they headed into the fourth period, they were already up 70-44. Don't go away. Interviews coming up. Well, they're paying tribute to Shohei Kikuchi. They know he had a storied career. And this chapter in his life comes to a close. Nobody wants to hang it up, but everybody's got to call it a day sometime. Let's see if Coach Modi says a little bit more here, because there still is work to be done next week.
Mauroヘッドコーチ、お願いします。
こんばんは。いつも応援ありがとうございます。Today you guys showed up like playoff atmosphere should be. Great job.
本当に今日の試合に関しては皆さん本当にプレーオフモードに入っていて素晴らしかったです。
And we need you to be our sixth man in the next game that we play.
ただまだ来週しっかりまた試合があるので、しっかり皆さん本当に6人目が必要なので、本当に皆さんしっかりまた来週も6人目になって一緒に戦ってください。
4 more games.
あともう4試合あるのでよろしくお願いします。
マオルヘッドコーチ、ありがとうございました。それでは皆様の投票により選ばれました本日の MVP を発表いたします。本日の MVP は No.5 ピョンジョンヒー。どうぞ中央へお越しください。いい選手には焼肉、空、海、食事券10万円分が贈られます。贈呈は近江製鋼ホールディングス株式会社代表取締役副社長池田康様に行っていただきます。 池田様ありがとうございました。それでは井選手から一言いただきたいと思います。
こんばんは。Thanks for your amazing support.
皆さん今日も本当に素晴らしい応援ありがとうございます。
We wouldn't be able to win without you guys.
本当に皆さんの応援なしで今日は勝てなかったと思っているので、
We still have 4 more games to go, so please support us until the end.
ただあと本当にまだもう4試合あるので最後まで一緒に戦ってください。
皆さん愛してる。
井選手ありがとうございました。それでは MVP を調査しました井選手にはサインボールの投げ込みを行っていただきます。お願いします。ご覧いただきました通り、本日の試合は96対56でベルカが見事勝利し、セミファイナル進出が決定いたしました。今一度大きな拍手をお願いいたします。
Let's check out the highlights here. A wire-to-wire victory by Nagasaki VELCA as they move on to the semifinals. And they really sent a statement. They were the #1 squad. They had the most number of wins. They won 43 victories. The next team was Utsunomiya Brex at 45 victories, and then followed by Seahorses Mikawa at 43. Well, a little bit more the statement there from Coach Modi Maor, but then again you can see he's focused on the future. He's focused on the title. Thank the fans. He said he needs their support once again in the next round. But there is today's MVP, and actually the MVP of the series, Hyun Jung Lee. Tremendous numbers here for Lee. He would finish with a game-high 27 points. He'd also collar 10 boards. Not to mention, he issued out 3 dimes. There's one of his boards, and he will always push the pace. The Korean star. There's one of his assists. And he found Matsumoto. Wakasabe with a setup there. That was one of the few baskets for Marcus Foster. Looking at the stat sheet here for the World Imports. Foster would finish with just 6 points. Saiz with 8. Rossiter would finish with just 2. And coming off the bench, actually Davis was the most productive. He would shoot 6 out of 7 from the field for 15 points. But again, if your World Imports really do not help, there's nothing you can do. First quarter ended in favor of VELCA, 23-15, and at the halftime break, it was 45-27. And in the third, they continued to pour on the pressure. Nagasaki winning that quarter by 8, 25-17. talk about balanced scoring. We talked about 27 points from Lee. Brantley would end up with 19. 20 points for Stanley Johnson coming off the bench. Coco Magay, another starter, would finish with 7. And Akil Mitchell would finish with 6. And those 6 are all slam dunks. That one you just saw there. 3-point shot was not the friend today. Here for ALVARK Tokyo, only making 5 out of 24 for 20%. There's Johnson once again, putting up a 3, knocking that one down. He would hit 2 threes in succession, and that was it. It was all over but the shouting. Fukuzawa will hit the 3 there, but that's a very neat reply. Gets another bucket for a total of 5 points. Baranski with a bucket there, but at that stage they were already down by 25. Nice setup there by Uday Baba. He was plagued by foul trouble here today. That's why his numbers were not as impressive. But his teammates picked up the slack. Uday Baba will finish with just 13 minutes on the floor. No points. He would have 4 rebounds though, and 2 assists. 1 steal as well. But those 4 personal fouls really kept him on the bench majority of this ball game. And look at this. Even Masaki Morikawa, Yuji Morita, and Masaya Karimata scoring for their squads late in the ball game, as Nagasaki will win this one. Running away, 96-56. Final time we're going to see that gentleman there, Shohei Kikuchi, retiring. As we break down the numbers, total field goal shooting, 52% as compared to just 35%. That was the big difference. When you break it down in twos, it's 69% as compared to 43%. And from 3-point distance, 40% as compared to 20. Not to mention the fact that look at the free throw numbers. 25 free throws made by Nagasaki VELCA, only 5 for ALVARK Tokyo. And that's why they really could not stage a comeback. They only got to the free throw line 8 times, and that really because of their own doing. In the second quarter, VELCA was in the penalty with still 8:02 remaining, but Tokyo, instead of trying to go to the line, try to get some easy shots from the free throw stripe, just kept hoisting up threes. They were 0 for 8 in the first half, and nothing really helped them out. As we take a look at some numbers here, Lee with 27 points, 15 there for Davis, 10 boards for Lee, 6 rebounds for Zach Baranski coming off the bench in limited minutes. And we have Stanley Johnson with 5 assists and 4 dimes for the starter, Taiki Okasabe. Key player matchup, this is a bit skewed. Kai Taves on the floor a little bit more because Uday Baba has been saddled with foul trouble. Picked up 3 early fouls in the first half and practically sat out. He would come into the third, pick up another foul, and they had to sit him down once again. As we take a look at our playoff picture, the first team into the semifinals is Nagasaki VELCA, the number 1 squad here after the regular season, as they continue their winning ways. There you have the scoring leaders. Lee with 27, Johnson backing him up with 20. And Brantley also finishing with 19. 7 and 6 for Kumagai and Mitchell respectively. For ALVARK Tokyo in their final game of the season. 15 points from Davis. And you can see there 8 apiece for Saiz and Ando. So Nagasaki, as we mentioned, the first team to qualify for the Final Four. That's going to do it for our coverage. We'd like to thank all of you for joining us here this Friday night. Join us for more B.LEAGUE action tomorrow, Saturday, where we have 2 more quarterfinal matches coming your way. Till then, take care. Have a good night ahead. God bless.